Rocky Mountain Dance Theater was started 14 years ago, and I started it because I wanted to have an outlet for performing and an outlet for the community to be able to experience the arts, and I felt like we didn't have one here. And so I started it with that in mind, and from there we've grown.
Sometimes it's the talent that is able to afford to be a part of a company, not necessarily the talent that is passionate about it. And so here in Cody, we want to make it so that everybody has the ability to dance, that's never ever in question.
We try to give everyone a role who wants one at a younger age. As we get older, obviously it's harder because you have to really know what you're doing. But we do start young, and they are able to participate in the Nutcracker from being on stage to participating in some of the things that we do to get ready, whether it's costuming or helping with props or different things. And we kind of start from the beginning and work our way to where they are advanced dancers and able to go on and dance other places. We've had dancers that have gone on and danced at the Joffrey in New York, and some that have gone on to dance at Broadway Dance Center in New York, and join little small regional companies as well throughout the United States.
It's about helping them in their pursuance of life in general. How are they growing as young women? How are they growing as young men? How do they deal with adversity and being able to train and work through other aspects of life that they learn through dance? And I think we talk about it all the time, because in many ways Rocky Mountain Dance Theater and RMSA, which is Rocky Mountain School of the Arts, are very philanthropic because they're not massive revenue generators. This is a labor of love for Liz that's really driven to see these kids grow up from these 3-year-old little kisses that you see on stage to going on to doing something special, be it dance, but realistically probably something different.
Yeah, we have a different guest artist every year almost.
I've always wanted to come to Wyoming. I just never thought the ballet would take me here, so this is a really fun, interesting way to get here. I've fallen in love with the town. It's so incredibly beautiful, and everyone is so sweet. And actually I'm from Kansas City, Missouri, so it's kind of in between where I live now, New York, and where I am right now. So it's got a little bit of country, a little bit of suburbs, and a little bit of city. So it's not too far removed, but this is definitely a change, and I love it.
They don't necessarily teach classes, but they do talk about their background, and they talk about what it takes to get to where they are, which is very educational. They give tips on those things. They have communication with the dancers, and a lot of times we are able to then keep that communication going, and so they're able to then give advice or direction as to where they need to go next when they leave us. And so it is very educational. I think it's also rewarding in that they can see where you can go if you continue to do what you're doing, because sometimes you don't get to see the final product when you're in the middle of working towards it. And so,
knowing Liz, I grew up with her, from this town, and as she was a very quiet, very reserved person, and watching her with dance and being able to perform on stage really helped socially. But not only that, it's the training, it's the learning how to memorize, it's learning how to work with a group of girls or throwing Spence in the mix, or Cody or Ben, and having boys in there and figuring out how to work together to make it all work. I think there's incredible social skills learned. All of these kids are they do great academically because of how they are constantly working their brains in dance.
Every child is just so excited to be here, and Elizabeth is so amazing, and the kids adore her, and she does such a great job. It's so important, no matter how small a town is, how big it is, to sort of keep the importance of the arts alive, and keep other people aware of it. And just having the kids come and see the shows. There were students that came on Friday, and it's so amazing for both the students watching and the students performing, because they get to show what they've been working for all this time. So it's really exciting for everyone. So I'm so thrilled to be here.
This is the 14th annual, and if you go back and look at each of the Nutcrackers videos and you'll see immediate progression after each year on year. And I think with that, it's because you slowly garner a reputation that you are training these children in classical ballet, that this isn't Cody ballet, this is classical ballet, Balanchine style ballet. And I think that's really important for parents to recognize that, hey, they have something special here in this community. And it's interesting because we get parents now who'll then move to, say, Park City, or move to Phoenix, or move to New York, or move to LA, and we then get to hear that back saying, you know what? we were trained in classical ballet. We can step into any class and be able to perform with any metropolitan ballet company. And I think that is very important, and it's taken many years for them to believe that that's the case here in town.